Hi, I'm Regan, and today I'm going to be talking about the silent killer of emergency responders, which is sleep deprivation. There are many causes of sleep deprivation, and luckily, most are preventable, so together we can combat this growing epidemic that is sweeping our nation. Stress. Stress is one of the main causes of sleep deprivation. For emergency responders, there are many factors that lead to stress while they are on shift. However, the most common factor of stress for emergency responders is patience. Whether it be having to complete a patient care report by a certain time, which is usually by the end of the shift, or having to make life or death decisions for someone that we've never met before and a patient we have no medical history on. PTSD. PTSD is also a main cause for sleep deprivation in emergency responders. Since there's no way to prevent PTSD in our emergency responders, the best thing that we can do to help them cope with these horrific scenes or traumatic experiences is to have a counselor on standby that has dealt with these situations before and knows how to give these emergency responders coping methods to help them deal with the scenes that they see. Having a counselor on standby would also help emergency responders who are already suffering from PTSD learn coping mechanisms and ways to help themselves deal with their triggers. Since while on a scene, they are more likely to experience these triggers if that's what their PTSD is based on. Having these coping methods for emergency responders who may already be suffering from PTSD would also allow the patients they are taking care of to have a calmer paramedic or EMT taking care of them, leading to better care and safer environments for the patients and the responders. Sleeping on the job. Even though sleeping on the job is strictly prohibited, it is one of the few ways that emergency responders can combat sleep deprivation for themselves. But since this is strictly prohibited, emergency responders stay awake longer and force themselves to not go to sleep so that they don't have permanent reprimands placed in their files, preventing them from getting promotions in the future or pay raises. For example, in Johnston County, emergency responders cannot go to sleep until 5 o'clock on the weekdays and 2 o'clock on the weekends. This is enforced by random supervisor drop-ins where at any time a supervisor could walk in and catch you sleeping. Therefore, emergency responders force themselves to stay awake, putting themselves at risk and you. Effects of sleep deprivation. Someone who has not slept in 21 hours has the same mental status and mental ability as someone who has a 0.08% blood alcohol content level. This means that an emergency responder getting into a vehicle when they have not slept for 21 hours is the equivalent of someone leaving a bar and getting in their car and attempting to drive home. This means that an emergency responder who is tired getting into an ambulance and driving a patient to a hospital is the equivalent of someone who has been drinking all night at a bar, getting in their car and attempting to drive home. And since it is illegal for someone to drive under the influence of alcohol, why is it not illegal for an emergency responder or anyone else to drive under the influence of sleep deprivation? Solutions. Some solutions for sleep deprivation include dedicated sleeping rooms, reporting systems, and acceptance or normalization of sleep deprivation. Having a safe sleeping room would give emergency responders a space where they can go if they feel tired to sleep uninterrupted, where they can recover from sleep deprivation and keep not only them safe but you as well. Safe sleeping rooms have been put into place in many Texas emergency response stations where they have seen a drop in sleep deprivation reports. This not only means that they're having safer environments for their emergency responders, but also keeping their citizens safe. Dedicated sleeping rooms would be used for not only those on shift who recognize that they're tired, but also for emergency responders immediately after shift when they've recognized that they're tired and that it would not be safe for them to drive home. Having a safe reporting system would allow emergency responders to report when they feel tired and as though they cannot continue working since they are putting not only themselves at risk, but also their patients. However, for this type of reporting system to be put in place, we as a society would have to accept that sleep deprivation is not just something that teenagers use when they're tired and don't want to do their homework, but it is also something that affects people who have worked long hours and served their community. Sleep deprivation is something that not only affects someone's mental status, but their reflexes and their ability to know how to do their job. If an emergency responder is unable to complete their job, it puts you at risk and it puts your family members at risk. These are my resources. Have a good day.